Hello, this is Bread Boy, and today I'm going to be looking at a Diamond 3 level game from Mike. He says that he feels like he's out of place in his rotations and would like some advice. So let's have a look. So far it looks like rotations are pretty good. It's a good pass there, okay. So the first thing of note here is at about 42 seconds, you don't want to be rotating this close to your teammate Hackerman here. Okay, so right here, it was the correct choice for you to rotate into net. However, you entered at the incorrect spot. So if we go back here. So you entered in from the corner here. Let's pull this up. So yeah, you entered in from the corner over here. But if I pull up a map of your side here, you generally want to rotate into net in this sort of way, going around and then positioning yourself like this. Not even in this corner here, you probably would have wanted to stay aimed about this side right here, facing this way. If you rotated in that way, you would have much likely, it would have been much more easy for you to react to the way the ball is being put in here in this angle. So just something to think about when you're rotating back into net. So I'd like to point out that here, something important that you should look out for when rotating is grabbing the enemy boost on your way out if you can. So in this situation, the enemy's corner boost is free for the taking. So keeping your boost high can help you in putting pressure on that enemy's half, because they'll lack boost and you guys will have boost. So just going straight for that boost in the enemy's corner there would be ideal for you. So also, even though you did manage to grab the enemy's boost in that spot there, you still left the enemy's other corner open, and it's okay to actually, go greedy and take that anyways, because none of your teammates should require it since they're all on your side already. It's a good bump onto Fave there, making sure he's not in front of the net. Okay, so right here, this kind of shot should be challenged sooner than later. With the enemy flying up like this and with his teammate on his left side, it makes things more and more unpredictable for you. Jumping on this and challenging it sooner can at least kill the enemy's attack before it gets too close to your goal. Because the closer it's, if you kill it and it's and you're still at as far back as you are there, it makes it easier for an enemy to follow up, and they have a shorter path to hit the ball. The sooner you kill it, the further that path is, and it gives your teammates more time to react. So, one thing I thought I would mention as well is, at this point in the game, I've seen you looking away from the play in order to grab boost. Now, going for boost in this situation is good, but I do think it's important for you to memorize boost positions and use the lines that are on the pitch here. So, if you look over, you have lines on the pitch that designate, like, whoops, they kind of designate where you have to go to get to a boost pad. They're marked mainly for like the corner boosts, but you can see there's lines like these orange lines here that will designate where these pads are as well. So using these lines to your advantage and keeping ball cam on, it will naturally give you a better awareness just by paying attention to the play and not taking your eye off of things. So here you should be paying closer attention to Laz here. As you see, if we rewind a little bit here actually, if we watch him closely as he's taking it to the back, you can make out that his car is turning like this, and he was able to turn around quickly. You can see his car's hood pulling out in front of the ball. It's kind of tiny, and it's just a really small thing to notice, but it gives you a lot of information here. Because even here, if you notice that he's facing forward, here it's important that you stop pushing forward like this, because also you're moving right on top of where your teammate already is. So yeah, if you see that he's turning like that and that he's just aiming forward, then you know that also that he's gonna. Another thing to notice here actually is that I believe your teammate was further from the ball than him, so this just tells you even more that Laz is going to clear this to your half no matter what. Your teammate's not really gonna beat him to it, so it's just important to realize that and to stay back a bit more. So here, I would say it's important to not push up as much here, since you can see that to your right, Burger Power is also pushing up parallel to you. This means that there's no third man back right now, and if the enemy gets a clear to your half, it can lead to some dangerous situations. However, that doesn't happen here, but it's the possibility that that can happen that is something to consider. So this is kind of sort of a positional, sort of a mechanical thing as well. When you're falling into position here, if I slow this down a little bit, you can see that the ball is going to be hit forward most likely by Laz. So what you want to try to do is you want to kind of delay when you're going to flip your car. So the first thing you want to do is you want to jump like you did here. This is correct. And then the ball is just coming forward naturally now. If you flip your car to the left, you're going to steal that boost and you'll still hit the ball up the wall. And you'll have boost to actually follow that up and try to pass it to a teammate. So it's that small change in what you did here that could have actually meant a pretty big difference in your team's offense in this situation. And even if you couldn't make a play off of stealing this boost as well, um, you would have still taken it from them, and the enemy would have had less boost to clear this ball out of here, and thus it would have created more pressure for you guys on their half still. So right here, you're positioned in the goal's corner, and you just stop moving for a while, and this is dangerous for two reasons. So the first is that you generally want to be in the net itself when you're entering a goalie position, since it's safer to make a save due to the fact that you're hitting the ball out of the net and have no risk of own goaling. If a shot were to come at you from this position, you're currently in, then you're going to have to flip to the side to hit it out, which is making things much more difficult on you than they need to be. Second, when you aren't moving, it can make you a target for the other team to demo or bump, which would take you out of this play entirely. So I just thought it was important to mention here that you are following rotations correctly, but your teammate pushed up at kind of the wrong time, and I believe from his point of view, he actually can't see you as well. So I think that had he not pushed up like this, I think it would have been easier for you to take the ball slowly and try to create a play off of that. So here, if you pay attention to the enemy's speed and his trajectory when he jumps up, you'll see that he's definitely not going to hit this ball since the ball's speed is going to make it pop off this corner here. Um, the enemy is not expecting this because he's not going to be going high enough. This means that knowing that he is not going to hit this most likely, it's better for you just to rotate back into your goal and wait for a chance to clear. Since also you'll see here that two enemies actually end up going and committing for the shot as well. So had you been in goal there, it probably would have been possible to follow that ball when it landed and clear it to Hacker Man on the left, or try to just pop it up yourself and follow up. So right here, this is kind of something I mentioned earlier as well. Trying not to be too close to your teammate. Specifically here, it would have been much better for you to have rotated to center field to try to wait for a pass from Burger Power. You generally never want to be as close to your teammate. So in this spot here, I think it's most likely that you panicked a little bit when you saw the shot your teammate had didn't go in. It's important that you don't fly up like you did and go for the ball. Um, you still have about 38 seconds left in the game here to organize a play. And as you can see here, both of your teammates are pushed up and they're right on top of each other. So it's important to maintain some form of defense here. All right, so some of the major points to touch on are your camera usage, giving enough space to your teammates, stealing boost when you can, paying attention to enemy orientation, and defensive positioning. So for your camera usage, I commonly saw you turning off ball cam to go for boost and also not using your stick cam to follow where your teammates were rotating. In regards to giving space, I saw you in close proximity to your teammates a few times this game. If your teammate loses a 50-50 and you're right next to him, then effectively you're going to lose that 50-50 as well. I think that you can definitely do better in taking the enemy boost pads in this game. Even just doing so when rotating out of their half will slow them down by a lot and make pressuring them much easier. Something that can help a lot with positioning is watching the enemy's orientation and their speed. When you start to pay attention to these factors, it will help you accurately predict where you need to be, and you'll just naturally react faster because of this. If you ever find yourself in a game where your teammates don't like to rotate back to third man back position, you have to deal with it, and for the most part, just take the spot yourself. If your teammate is rotating up at the same time you are, you're gonna have to bite the bullet and move back yourself to maintain that form of defense. Another thing in regards to defense is your positioning and goal. You don't want to be on the edge of the net, on the outside, um, and you also don't want to rotate into net from the corner. So I'll kind of pull up a net here to go more into detail on that. All right. So I remember in one of the parts in this game, you were stopped in corner here, and the enemies were messing around over here with the ball. So you were also stationary, and I believe there's an enemy somewhere over here. I don't remember exactly, but he could have definitely went for you and left his defensive position to try to kill your guys' defensive position in order to make a play off of it. Um, but if the enemies went for a shot and it was somewhere in this area here, that's going to be really hard for you to get to when you're at no movement speed currently. Um, and if you just go as fast as you can from a stationary position, there's pretty much no way you're going to reach this ball in time. It's just going to be way too fast for your car to reach. From where you were here, I think you rotated into the spot like this. What would probably been better is to rotate in and around into this kind of centered area here and have your car angled looking at this play over here. I think that would have probably put you in the best defensive spot there. But yeah, generally you never want to be outside of the net when you're taking a goalie position, because if you try to clear it, or if you try to save it, sorry, and you hit it like this way with like the top portion of your car, like there's a chance that you can hit it into your own post here, and it can potentially become an own goal. So those are just some quick tips on goalie positioning there. So thanks for submitting your replay, Mike. If you have any questions for me, just feel free to send me a direct message on Discord, and I'll get right back to you as soon as possible. So have a good one.